If you love peanut butter cookies, then this is the one you need to try. This is my husband's favorite cookie recipe, so we're making them for him today. Hi, I'm Dorothy, and today we're making the best soft peanut butter cookies. I'm starting off with a half of a cup of unsalted butter that's been softened. I like to mix the butter a little bit at the beginning with my hand mixer just so that it's kind of smooth. If you're using a stand mixer, you don't need to do this step. I just like doing this when I'm using a hand mixer so that the sugar doesn't fly everywhere. To the butter, you're going to add 3/4 of a cup of peanut butter, and I love using this OXO sticky measuring cup. It's my favorite kitchen tool because it just comes out super easy to clean, no more trying to fight with those measuring cups. When it comes to peanut butter for peanut butter cookies, you really can use any brand that you like. You can use creamy, you can use crunchy. I recommend using a no stir peanut butter. Then to the butter and peanut butter, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of packed brown sugar and 1/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. And then just mix that all together until it's nice and creamed. I love the smell of just the peanut butter cookie dough. It's so delicious. Okay, and to the mixture, we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 large egg. This will make about 18 to 24 cookies depending on the size, but what I absolutely love about this recipe is that it's easy to double, triple, even quadruple just by multiplying the ingredients. Then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of milk. You can use regular milk, non-fat, even non-dairy milk. Milk is my secret ingredient to making a soft peanut butter cookie. Then we're just going to mix all of that together. Now, before I add the flour to this mixture, I'm going to scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl just to make sure there's no unincorporated butter or sugar. And now I'm going to add 1 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour. And now just mix this until it's a nice cohesive cookie dough. Another thing I love about this cookie dough is it's so simple to turn just plain peanut butter cookies into so many different types of cookie. So I have stuffed these with Rolos, Snickers, I've added chocolate chips, M&Ms, nuts. You can make them small or big, even make a cookie cake. It's super simple to do. It's a very versatile cookie dough. I am going to use a 2 tablespoon cookie scoop for this. You can use a 1 tablespoon or a 2 tablespoon or make giant cookies with an even bigger one if you want. We're just going to scoop these out, and because we don't have to chill this dough, I'm going to spread them apart about 2 inches apart. So I'll get about 12 cookies per cookie sheet, depending on the size of your cookie sheet. Cookie dough is super simple, super easy to make. I already have my oven preheated to 350 degrees, so it's ready to go. And I'm using a silicone baking mat. You could also use parchment paper. When we are doing this now, you can just bake them like this with, we're gonna put our crisscross marks on. I do sometimes like to roll the cookie dough between my palms of my hand just to make them a little bit more cohesive. You definitely don't have to do this step if you don't want to. You could also roll these in granulated sugar for like a little bit of a crunchy coating on the outside, or even sprinkles. And now once we have the cookies like this, we have to do the crisscross marks. Now that is a telltale peanut butter sign. You know that it's a peanut butter cookie when it has those fork marks. The reason we do that is because these have butter in them, but they don't have enough butter to cause them to super flatten. So we have to start flattening them a little bit. That's why you don't, when you're making like say a blossom cookie, you don't flatten the cookies because you want it to have that like poof. So they would just stay in balls if we didn't flatten them. So I'm going to use my fork, and I'm going to go one way and then the other. If you wanted to at this point, you could top them with like chocolate chips or M&Ms or something to make them kind of pretty, even like, you know, holiday M&Ms or something like that. Now once we have them all pressed down, they're ready to bake. They just go right into that preheated 350 degree oven. It's going to take about 8 to 15 minutes depending on the size of your cookie. You know when they're done because they have lost their glossy sheen and they're nice and golden brown on the bottom, and they won't look wet anymore on the top. These are one of my favorite cookies. I've been making them for years. Like I said, they are always a staple at every holiday. My husband loves peanut butter cookies. He doesn't eat a lot of treats, but he does love peanut butter cookies, so I make them all of the time for him. And like I said, these are so versatile. You can do so many different things with just this one cookie recipe. Soft, easy, delicious, super peanut buttery cookies. These are going to become one of your absolute favorite recipes. I know it. They're so good. I hope you love these as much as I do. If you don't follow me already, I'd love it for you to subscribe to my channel because I share delicious desserts, and keep watching for even more cookie recipes.